Yo, what's going on, guys? Quick little video discussing the signing of I was just looking at the wrong camera for a second, but the signing of TyTy Washington with the Los Angeles Clippers. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts down below in the comment section today before we start today's video. What do you guys think of this signing, and what are your expectations? Former first round pick out of Kentucky, TyTy Washington joins the Los Angeles Clippers. They're at 14 roster spots currently, which seems to mean that's going to be Jordan Miller's time in Los Angeles has come to an end. Sadly, snaps for Ty Washington, and also sad snaps for Jordan Miller, who I think is a very deserving player. He's probably looking for a better opportunity and maybe something that the Clippers weren't offering. Now, the news coming from ESPN's Shams Charania is that free agent guard TyTy Washington agrees to a 1-year deal with the Clippers, a former first-round pick in 2022 out of Kentucky. And this was a guy that a lot of people thought was going to have a better career in the NBA than he did perform in college. As a result, that in college, his minutes and his play style was bogged down due to John Calipari's antiquated style of coaching in terms for guards, and we've seen Emmanuel Quickley and Tyrese Maxey have been two prior Kentucky guards who were similar player profiles as TyTy Washington have a bunch of success when they did come to the NBA after not lackluster, but not as not meeting expectations, you could argue, in college. Similar to TyTy Washington did a thing, and you would thought he was going to be a similar thing. He spent past few seasons on two-way contracts across the NBA, and that being with the Bucks, the Suns, and this past year, he's a guy that is going to be, or this coming year, he's going to be with the Clippers. And if we look at the current roster, the Clippers, James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, Zubats, Chris Paul, Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, who's expected to be traded at some point to help them save money, especially when they're against the apron. Nick Batum, Brooke Lopez, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, Kobe Brown, Derek Jones Jr., Cam Christie. They're 3 two-ways, and Kobe Sanders, Trent Flowers, and Patrick Baldwin Jr., aka the light-skinned Steve Novak, and now TyTy Washington filling that final roster spot. And with all that being said, what is the expectation for a guy like TyTy Washington? This is supposed to say Washington, not Waters, but so ignore that it says Waters. That's on me. I thought I had fixed that. We could fix this right now, but just editor's note when you're watching this. This is a guy who's actually a good mid-range shooter. He's a great shooter off the dribble, but he's improved since coming out of college. 6'3" with a 6'8" wingspan. He played shooting guard in college. He's more of a point guard. He spent the last few years in the G and on those two ways, developing his passing and his three-point shooting ability. And he does a good job of running the pick and roll. He makes good reads, and he knows how to control the tempo, which is what you want from a skinny 6'3" guard like TyTy Washington. So I think him being here is a good look. Now, he's going to be a depth piece for James Harden, Chris Paul, and Chris Dunn. He's the 14th standard contract. You guys saw highlighted in yellow meant that he was a minimum contract deal, $2.3 million, non-guaranteed, so they could get rid of him at any moment for no dead money risk. And with all that being said, is that this is just a deal that, why does this work? He's expected to be the third or fourth string point guard and insurance developmental piece behind Harden and CP3. He's going to be a guy that sees minutes in low leverage situation, garbage time, or if the Clippers rest the veterans for a game against a tanking team. So it's an easy deal to understand, but that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What is your expectations for a guy like TyTy Washington joining the Los Angeles Clippers? They've had success bringing in young guys. I mean, Kevin Porter last year was someone that they were able to flip for a value. So that's basically going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hit that like, subscribe button if you did. Cheers.